All right. Sorry about the delay, everyone. One of my accounts got hacked, and Avi was helping me walk through how to fix that so I could handle that situation. A little bit annoying recently. But anyway, I'm excited to be hanging out with you here. If you guys don't know who I am Jeremy Ryan Slate, the CEO and co founder of Command Your Brand. We help our clients through the power of podcasting to get in front of the right audiences on the right shows. And our guest today is somebody that's been helping me with a lot of our marketing efforts for, gosh, I can't even tell you how many years now. I think since like maybe 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. And he's been doing a lot in the AI space, helped us implement a lot. So welcome to the show, Avi Vatsa.
Always a pleasure to be on this show. Thank you for having me here today. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to talk more about it. How you
Yeah.
doing?
And like I said, apologies to everybody that we made him wait a few minutes here, but you were in the process of saving my butt as one of my accounts got hacked and we were trying to sort out like what the heck to do about it. We fixed it, but it was like, man. Anyway, so Avi, for people that don't know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about, who you are, what you do, and what your business does as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, it was 3 years ago when we had a podcast where you interviewed me about AI, and that was
That was
three
the
years
one we
ago.
did in Thailand, right?
No, before that,
Oh, before that,
even
okay.
before that, yeah, there was one where we spoke about AI, and I was telling you how AI was like ChatGPT was the only AI at that time, and it was like picking up. It wasn't really good, and then as we know, it's become way better, and there's a lot more players in the market now. And so I saw an opportunity back then. And I still do. I run a marketing agency, a digital marketing, performance marketing agency. We do Google Ads, SEO, social media, websites, and all of that. But I saw that marketing was probably going to be the first industry, or maybe accounting, which is going to be a lot like automated with AI. And I kept telling my partner that, bro, we got to invest in AI or we're going to be irrelevant and outdated and outmoded. And he was like, nah, yeah, it's not going to happen. We're always going to have website clients, and people will always need marketing, and AI cannot replace humans. But today, you can literally build and launch a stunning website in 10 minutes using no code AI tools. I don't know if you've tried it, literally $10,000 websites. It works, right? And there's a bunch of apps I'll tell you about, but it's very, very good, and it's getting better and better every day. So I saw that opportunity, and then because my partner was very resistant to change, I actually went and became a partner and acquired a percentage, a third of the an AI development company with 92 staff called
Wow.
Codist. Yeah, and we build AI systems for enterprise clients and small business owners as well. And we have worked with Hyundai, the car company, American Airlines, a few governments in 3 to 4 different continents, and some really big telecom providers now. And yeah, we have very senior ML engineers and AI engineers. And then recently, with the help of the team, I was able to launch my first SaaS product with AI, which is called Dialora, which is an AI voice calling agent. And I can't, I shouldn't reveal it on the podcast, but we're working with some really big telecom companies to implement our system in their backend as well for their clients. But once that happens, I will let you know. It's very big names. Everybody knows about them. So that is cool. And yeah, so we build AI apps, and we've built 10 or 12 apps in-house now, and we have completed over 500 projects in AI. We're also using AI and crypto blockchain technology, which crypto is built on, to build AI apps on that blockchain technology as well. And also the metaverse, which is the virtual reality and stuff now with AI, which is very exciting.
Cool. And to all our people watching, feel free to drop questions in the comments or in the chat here. We'll get to those if it's pertinent at the time. Otherwise, we will take questions at the end as well. So you kind of talked about the shift you had to make, Avi, because I think there's been initially there was a lot of pushback, but you mentioned, hey, like, my team wasn't really a fit, and I had to kind of look at like how we were doing things. So I'm curious for a lot of people out there, maybe they're using a lot of AI, maybe they haven't implemented yet, but where should a business start when they want to implement AI and they aren't sure what tools or workflows to begin with?
I see. Yeah, absolutely. So look, I started with personally with the problems that I hate in my business and the stuff that's really boring for me that I don't want to face, or it requires too much capital, low level um, employment, like, just boring, redundant admin tasks. So I started with that. So I actually learned how to code Python and AI to actually solve my own personal problems. For example, I wanted to buy, I always fly, but I fly last minute. So the prices are always super high for flights. So I built like a AI that goes across the internet, finds me the cheapest prices for flights, just for my personal use, right? I built an AI gym workout trainer that sends me WhatsApp messages every day with my workout, and I can log it in. I built an AI for myself that knows every credit card that I use, not the numbers of the card, but all the cards, what the benefits are, and tells me, okay, if I'm at this restaurant or if I'm at that hotel, which card I should use to get the most points. So, and so I basically have problems, and then I solve them. Same with business, right? I hate doing account. I mean, okay, but I do actually hate doing accounting, like going through like all the numbers and all of that. So I just built an AI that just pulls all my financial statements and then creates the whole graph and everything, just high level overview of where the finances are at, how much was made, how much was spent. So bookkeeping gets automated, even inside Google Sheets. We made Dialora to solve our own problem. We wanted more clients. We were getting a lot of leads, but because we work across 10 different time zones across the world, we wanted someone to always be on the phone whenever our clients or prospects needed us. So we built an AI that takes calls, reception, and also now does outbound calls, sales calls, and books meetings for us. We created the system that we've implemented for you as well, Jeremy, which is the AI chatbot that takes all our dead leads from tens of years that we've had that we forgot about, and then messages them and has a real conversation back and forth to reactivate them and book a meeting. So I'd say start with problems. So define a problem. If you have a problem, define what the problem is, and then find the way to use AI in it. AI works really well for low level. Well, now it's working really well for across the board. It's not always correct, so you have to always keep an eye on it, and
Sure.
also, yeah, but it's getting better and better. And 3 years ago when we had this conversation, it's way better than that, right? So content editing, for example, right? A podcast research, I use it all the time for even sales research. If I'm meeting Jeremy, I'm going to go on ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude. I use ChatGPT personally for this particular task, and I just type in your website, like Jeremy Ryan Slade or Command Your Brand, and I type your name. It pulls all the data about you and creates talking points for me to ask you to get the conversation going, and gives me a lot more information and saves me time researching, right?
Mhm. So I
Uh,
guess let me
mhm.
ask you this then. So I guess like what a lot of our so we're getting a lot of really great questions here, and I think I want to bring some of these into the conversation here. Edwin, who we both know here, Edwin Dearborn says, how can we use AI to optimize Facebook ad campaigns? So I think
Okay.
when we're looking at a lot of these basic things we do in marketing, frankly, like, yes, you can, there's a lot of things AI can do to help you scale, like basic tasks. But I think also when you're looking at scaling a marketing department, digital marketer Ryan Dice, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, he put up a post. He's retiring. He's shutting down digital marketer, all their training, all their courses, and he's going 100% into AI because he thinks that
Yeah.
this is kind of the marketing wave of the future. So we're looking at things like optimizing Facebook ads and things like that. How do we implement things like AI that could help us here?
Absolutely. So there's a company that I'm using. It's called Magix, Madgicx, Magix, and it is optimizing my Facebook ads for the campaigns we're running. So it suggests ad copies. It connects with your Facebook, and that's what I really like about it. Like, it can do changes in real time. Obviously, there's Facebook's own AI that is getting better and better and better, and helping you get more out of your ads. But in terms of ad creatives, optimization suggestions. Magics is what I'm using to optimize ads. It's a really cool tool, and I think it will get better and better and better. There's a few more, like even the one that you use, Jeremy, at creatives.ai has a company. I don't know if you still use it, but I know you
We were
used
using
to.
it to create some creative pieces. We've got to get
Right.
back into being a little bit more ad heavy than we were.
Yeah, and so that company actually bought another company that does AI optimization of ads. But if you go to Ad Creatives, you can access their AI ad optimizer from there. Google, Facebook, Meta, they all have their own internal AI. Like Meta just came out with their optimization score AI, where in your campaign that you're running, it will give you suggestions on how to improve your campaign, right? And Facebook, Google also has that, but it's not really implemented it yet. I mean, Google has the optimization score for years, but Google's still doing call center heavy. Like they call you to try and optimize your campaigns, and it's not always good. But they'll get there. It's funny because Google wrote the paper on AI, literally LLM,
Yeah.
and it kind of fell behind in the AI race. Uh, so, yeah.
So in terms of, so Chris Geis has a great question here. It says, how are you leveraging AI in your own software development, and what tools do you like the most? I think that's really interesting as well, right? Because for a lot of us, you're talking about all these individualized use cases that you've done in AI, right? But for a lot of
Right.
us, we don't have the skill to do that. But
Yeah.
there's ways we can use and leverage AI to actually help us do that. I'm curious, Chris is curious, what things would you recommend, or how have you used it?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you on a personal level and on a company level. So let me start with the company level. So the company, as you know, has about 62 full-time developers, and the rest are admin staff, marketing, sales, right? So we use several AI tools. We use Bolt, we use Lovable, we use Cursor. We use a lot of Cursor. Cursor AI is probably the number one company for coding with AI. Lovable makes apps within, like you can have a working prototype of your app or SaaS company in like 15 minutes. And lovable.dev, if you want to put that in the chat. Bolt, I think Lovable is better than Bolt now, but I've used Bolt to create websites. I created a whole Facebook, like a whole social media platform and a dating app within the social media platform with Bolt. So, and then for design, we have Figma. Figma now has, you can do literally Figma to code in 1 minute or using like different plugins within Figma. So you have a design on Figma, and then you can create that into code like right away with one click. So that is how we've been using it. I literally, on a personal level, like I said, all these tools that I made for myself, like the airline, the ticket finder, all of that. I learned coding, like Python coding from scratch, with the help of AI. So
Wow.
I went, yeah, and I made all those. I made at least 24 different tools for my own personal use with code, not in a no code environment, but within a coding environment with Python, LangChain. Those are other AI coding stuff with the help of AI. I'm not like a pro coder, but I'm making real products with the help of AI.
So let me ask you this, because I think when you're looking at AI, most of the AI apps we're talking here are text driven, right? Like you have to write a good prompt. So for a lot of people, I feel like that's where we fall short, right? Is writing a good prompt, because the prompt is a good prompt is one of the things that are going to get you a result. So like, for example, I use, oh, Chris says thank you. That was exactly what I was looking for. So I've been doing these scripts recently for my YouTube channel, which have worked out really well. I've been writing these Roman Empire threads on X, and then I use Grok to basically help me script out what I'm going to put together, right? And you kind of find out, like, through different variations, like what's a good script for you, like a good script for you, or prompt for you. So like for me, it started as a very basic prompt, and now this prompt is nuts. It's like, from this X thread, write a script for my YouTube channel. It should be in long form, and it should have to be just read from a teleprompter. It gives my name of my YouTube channel. It says I like historical names, dates. I want everything fact checked. So it's like, when you're writing a prompt, it can be very extensive. I'm curious for you, what goes into thinking about writing a prompt?
Oh, that's a whole master class in itself. And let me find it if I can. Like, there's a
Well,
whole
Edwin
video.
that's on here loves a good prompt. He didn't ask that question, but I know he's thinking it.
Yeah, it's all about prompt engineering. And and so there's a structure. So there's a way that ChatGPT and other models have been trained in terms of giving output and answers to us, and on how to process the information that we give it, right? So the prompt engineering is something that you write in a specific way. Like, there's something called a system prompt and a user prompt. And there's like many different aspects to it, but it's very, very important. And I can go really in detail, but I think
Well, let's find something we can give people here just so they feel like they're, able to write a better prompt after today.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So look, you one of the things you want to do is define who it is acting as. So one thing is you have to tell it you are a content, or you are a great or world's best content writer, or you are a viral YouTuber, or a viral YouTube script generator. So you have to give it its beingness of who it's acting as, right? And then you got to be very specific in your instructions. So using action verbs, right? Write this, create a list this, or analyze the, summarize blah, right? And you got to be detailed on the exact specific output you want, right?
Mhm.
And like, what I've noticed is, when, especially with marketing material, you want to give it also the target audience very specifically defined, whatever problems or desires or fears that the target audience is having. So if you put that in your prompt, it will generate better content. Even with Claude, right? You got to give it your style, your way of talking, and you can train it by having conversations or putting up like one of your podcasts or books that you've written, and then it will learn from that, right? Most people think AI is intelligent or cognizant, and that's why they just put any prompt in there. But it's not. It's just literally a mathematical equation running. Like, it's trained on lots of words, and it's just finding words before what you're writing, what comes before and what comes after, and that's what it is. It's not actually conscious or aware, or it can't think like we do.
It's not
So
Skynet,
that,
so we don't have that to worry about. In terms
yeah.
of your iterations then, right? Because I think a lot of times as well, the misconception people have is, okay, I wrote the prompt, didn't get the output I want, or the output's kind of close. Like the graphic for this conversation, I even used Chat GPT with what's the plugin that I use for that? Anyway, Dolly to actually put together for us. So, and
Mhm.
that took a bunch of iterations because it was doing some weird things to your face, man. So in terms of when you're looking at a prompt and like, let's say you maybe get the output you want, or you maybe don't get even close, or you get a little bit close, like how do you use iterations with a prompt in order to actually get what you want?
How do you use iterations with a prompt?
In
Okay,
terms
yeah.
of
So
like,
let's say,
continuing to
yeah,
converse with like, because I think people have the idea that they put in the prompt, they didn't get the output they want. What do I do? Right. So, but a lot of times
right.
they don't realize it's actually a conversation. So how do you handle that?
Right. So then let's say you didn't get what you wanted. So you tell it that you didn't get what you wanted. That's what I do. Like, I'm like, no, this is not what I asked for. I asked for blah. And then it kind of learns from it. And then you be more and more specific on what you want. And it gets better and better. And then it gives you the output. I actually use this website called Prompt Genie to test my prompts before I actually put the prompt for a working AI system. So it like mocks up or does like a test run of what the prompt output would be, and gives you best prompts. And I store my prompts in that. They have a library feature that you can use. So that really helps, because it's all about prompting, right? And now, as it evolves and evolves, our jobs will be about prompting, right?
So let me ask you this then too. I'm curious because something I do, and I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it, is I have like a few threads that I like prompt threads that I use quite often. So I'll have those bookmarked because it's like kind of getting trained on like how I create the process. So for example, like I use it for script writing, and then I'll take those scripts and I'll edit them down for the monologues I'm doing for one of my two YouTube channels, right? And they both have different content, right? So they're different threads because they're going to kind of look at things differently. how
Mhm.
is that something you do, or how should we utilize that? Like, how do we utilize kind of the prompt threads we've had to kind of give us better data over time?
Right. No, so I save my prompts, like I said, in Prompt Genie because I can use it again.
Okay.
Specifically talking about Chat GPT, they came up with an update and now it stores way more memory than it did before. So it actually has stored all my repeated prompts that I've given it. So the way I've trained it is to think in a very specific way or give answers in a very specific way, which has logic and not just and proof. So so every answer that I get is very different from what people get because it's got it saved in its memory, and it's got my goals saved. It's got my the way I speak saved, my brand identity saved. So that, but if you don't have, like, depends on what paid version of ChatGPT you have, also how much memory you have, and also, so it's just better if you save your prompts for repeated use, right? Like Grok doesn't save it. We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Grok does save them now. They didn't used to.
Now it
Um,
does, yeah, but before it wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like a
yeah,
bookmark feature, and there was like a bug a few weeks ago where it wasn't even like keeping a history of them. But I guess they fixed that, and now you can kind of bookmark them. So I'm
right.
curious then, in terms of what do you think the biggest misconception when people look at scaling their business with AI? Like, what do you think the biggest misconceptions around that are?
Misconceptions about scaling their business with AI. I think there's two types of people I met. One is where one, actually there's three types of people. The first type of person, business owner, thinks that AI is way more intelligent than them, and then whatever AI says, they do that. And I don't think that's correct. That is a misconception. AI is not better than humans. It's just a natural evolution in computing technology. It's a different way of computing. But look, we came into an IT, information internet age where there's just too much information overload, and then we needed, like, Google search wasn't enough. It would take hours to research one topic, right, or
Yeah,
days or weeks, because there's so much information. So now with Perplexity and Grok and all these tools, you can find answers where it can search the web really fast and get you the answers that you're looking for. So it's faster that way. You can upload PDFs and all and get summaries. Like, there's a tool that I use. It's really good actually, called Google Notebook LLM. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
I
you could
don't use
like
that
put,
now.
yeah, it's awesome. You could literally have a conversation in it about your podcast. So I could put all your podcast videos from YouTube in there, just links, and then I can ask it to give me exact things that I want to know, and it will create a podcast out of your podcast. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
Google
got this
Notebook
open now.
LLM.
I got a lot to play around with now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so that's the first kind of person who's like completely considering AI is God and AI is way smarter than people. I don't think that's necessarily true. AI can help people leverage, because in business, everything, like, the most important thing is leverage, right? You get leverage through hiring people, you get leverage through technology, you get leverage through finance, and this is a leverage for productivity. And I think that's very important to understand. You can just do what you always dreamed of doing with the help of this tool, without any barriers that were coming in your way. Like, knowledge is not a barrier anymore. I can upload all the books that a medical doctor gets trained on and get them to summarize and give me actionable steps and cut down my time of learning, like I did with coding. It would probably take me at least a year to be at the level of developing a fully functional app myself, learning Python, but it took me 12 days to do that with AI, right? So I know the fundamentals, I know the strategic principles, I know what could go wrong, and now I can direct and use AI to do the grunt work for me. But I still have to use my own mind to actually differentiate and see what works and what doesn't work, right? The other kind of person is like completely like, no, AI, we're only human, and AI is bad, AI is unethical, and is kind of like not using AI in their business and still not ready to make that change. And like my partner did, you have to adapt, otherwise you're going to get left behind. And I think we're at that point in life now where it is AI or nothing. Like, you have to use AI now. It's not a secret weapon, it's more of a day-to-day thing now. right? And more it's going to get there, especially with agentic AI. I don't know if you played around with it, but
No, what is that?
so ChatGPT has a baby version of it, which is called Operator. You pay $200 a month, and it can literally go on your Facebook and type and reply to messages like, "I got it to list." Like I got the AI, I got ChatGPT to go on Facebook and list products that I wanted to sell, like my furniture, on Facebook Marketplace,
Wow.
and like go yeah, and go and create posts on different websites. So all this off-page SEO. So AI agents are basically gonna they have the ability to do work beyond the chatbot, the chat interface like chat GPT or Grok. They can go on the internet and do things on your behalf, right? And that's where it gets scary. Like it can go on Amazon and optimize your Amazon listing on there,
The thing I'm
right?
curious about, because I know like at least ChatGPT, or maybe I'm not using the right prompt, doesn't do this yet. Is like right now you can't put in a link to a video and like ask for kind of an analysis of that because it's not really a text thing to analyze. I'm kind of curious how you see those things changing in the future. Like, do you think AI is going to be able to analyze things like that? Because here would be an interesting use case, right? Like, okay, take a look at this video and analyze, what happened to the hook or things like that, right? Because it could be interesting of like iterating before you put that video out, right? Because once the video is published, but to kind of be able to test some of these things beforehand would be real interesting.
Yeah, you can do that even now
Oh,
with
okay. I'm
ChatGPT.
not smart
You can
enough.
upload the yeah. Like we created a internal video editing tool, assembler.ai. It just doesn't have an E at the end. It's assemble or assembler.ai. And
Okay.
it's an AI video editing enterprise tool basically for like big agencies or big media companies which have a lot of footage. Like you have a lot of podcasts and a lot of video recordings. So it has the ability to tell you what is working and what's not working. It's just analyzing your videos based on the best practices on how to go viral, how to what works and what doesn't work based on the YouTube's algorithm and stuff like that. And I mean,
Okay.
even ChatGPT, you can just throw in your video there, your video link.
Well,
Like it gives you.
it doesn't like the videos, but it'll take like if I give it a transcript, it'll take that. But it's like the video, it's kind of like, oh, this is a video, I can't watch it or something.
I'll check that out because I've actually put a YouTube link of your
Okay.
video and asked it
Interesting.
about it. Yeah, yeah. So
So it
it's
might be
it's
the
getting
prompt
better.
then.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you can upload like MP4 files in it. It's not
Mhm.
going to read that. Like, but you can up definitely give it YouTube links. It
Okay.
finds me YouTube links when it's researching. It'll go on YouTube and find the YouTube video that would answer my question.
Okay. Well, I have a few more questions for you, Avi, but there are people watching, which, by the way, we have, I think, we're up to 45 people hanging out with us here. So this is super cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
So if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat and I'll kind of get to them as I go along. I've been trying to put the tools that Avi mentions in the chat here as well. So this alone is something you should probably favorite all these things in your browser. It's a lot of different stuff to use. But I just have a
Yeah.
few questions left for you, Avi. And I guess, if someone watching this wants to take action today, what are just
Mhm.
three basic things they can start using AI to grow today?
Three big, I mean, okay, so Claude AI for content writing, email writing, like anything to do with writing, Claude. If I was starting out completely beginner, I would use ChatGPT version 4.0 for images and graphic design. It's getting really, really good right now. I'd use ChatGPT o3 for brainstorming, coming up with ideas, validating my ideas, and just having a back and forth, getting more information. So the models also differ, right? So you have to select the right model. So o3 is really good for brainstorming. 4.0 is really good for images and graphic design. Grok is way better for long form content. I like Grok for deep research as well. Perplexity is also really good for research. I love Grok, but now like I'm leaning a little bit more toward Perplexity. But Grok,
Well, the only
ChatGPT has.
reason I like Grok, and this is just something I'll say here, is I like my main social account that I use is X.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what Grok's been able to do is all you have to do is give it your user handle, like at Jeremy Ryan Slate, and it can analyze all of my posts since 2009, and based on that, give me things written in my voice. That's extremely useful, but that's the only reason I use Grok.
And that's a unique point of Grok, is that it can access tweets on X or X posts on X. So that is really, really good. So if you want to research about what's happening on X and get more data about a topic based on X, and also generally, Grok's really, really good. And I think it's going to get really, really better, and it's probably going to be the best one, but it's getting there for sure. And then, okay, so O3 for brainstorming, Grok also for brainstorming, O4, 4.0, ChatGPT 4.0 for images and graphic design. Notebook LM that I told you about for Google, like chatting with content, uploading YouTube videos or PDFs, having a chat with it instead of reading the book. It creates like a podcast style narration of the book that you want to, like, you can ask questions and it will answer based on the book. So Notebook LM is really good for knowledge and reading and getting in depth about a particular PDF or book or whatever. Hey Gen for videos. You can, like, I don't know if you've tried it, Jeremy, but this is really, really cool. You can like totally replicate yourself, your voice, and get really, really good output now with HeyGen and 11 Labs.
I haven't tried this. I guess that would probably be good for like ad creative. I know YouTube would probably get a little pissy about that, but ad creative, that could be fun.
Yeah, user generated ad creation with HeyGen, and there's a couple other tools which is really good. Claude AI for really good writing style, like your voice. If you upload your style in Claude, it's probably the best writer out there in terms of AI. Perplexity to replace Google search. No, I don't do Google search, and I don't believe this the Gemini stuff that Google gives. It's really bad, honestly. So Perplexity is my Google search now, and Grok, to be honest. I use Google Gemini, specifically Gemini, on Gemini's website for deep research, not the stuff that you get on Google. It's really, really good for deep research because you have to understand Google has more data about all the websites on the internet than any other person. So now it's Gemini's using all of that data to do really in-depth research. And so, yeah, and if you want to, there's tons of tools. They're called wrappers. They're basically like a chat GPT plugged into somebody's website. Like there's a tool for podcast one sheet preparation, or finding, if you're going on a podcast show or as a guest, you can find more about that show with there's so many tools that are out there, but just use the big ones like ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity. It's the same kind of output because that's what they're using, right? Um, if you want to go deep into it, you should probably start learning no-code tools like make.com, Zapier, and N8N. I don't know if you've used Nathan, N8N.
I haven't, no.
Okay, so that's AI first native automation using AI to make AI agents. Like, so one AI agent does market research. Then all the data that it gets from market research sends to another AI agent that then uses that to create a content brief or a creative brief, and then the other one writes a post, and then the other one creates an ad. And so the whole workflow with AI agents doing parts of the work and delivering data to each other is, you can make that without coding on N8N. And it's a really powerful tool. Then you have Crew AI, which is a bit more technical for AI agents. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to do. I mean, if you want to go deep into it, but if you
Well,
just
let me
know how,
ask you this, because you've listed out a lot of different apps and things like that, and I think for a lot of people out there, it could be a little overwhelming, right? It can definitely
it
be
is.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
So, how do you stay on the cutting edge? Like, how are you able to like keep up, but also not get overwhelmed by? Because there's constantly new things coming out.
Yeah, so absolutely. I have Google Alerts. I have Grok, Perplexity giving me summaries of all the stuff that's coming out. I have Instagram, X, and YouTube accounts that I follow of these people, and then I use like Sam Altman and like people like who are like at the forefront of AI and all the release, like OpenAI's YouTube and all of that. And then I use Google LM to make a summary, or I use ChatGPT to summarize all the new developments. And of course, I have a group chat in my company where all my developers are giving me all the new stuff that's happening in AI. So there's always that edge as well. Oh, we
Oh,
lost
sorry,
you.
I'm muted, guys. I guess then, obviously a lot of people listening to this too, they're probably running their own jam. They're probably either the CEO or somebody in a position of understanding what their company needs to do. You've
Mhm.
covered a lot of this stuff. Obviously, you're the go-to when it comes to this, and maybe they want your help to actually do some of these things for them. So
Mhm.
how would they connect with you? How would they find out more about what you're doing?
Absolutely. So the company's website is codist.com, Codiste. And you can go and check out some of our work. We've, like I said, for example, for American Airlines, we built like an investor portal where investors of the airlines can log in and they can chat with the basically the financial records of American Airlines, like what was the stock at, all the financial records that American Airlines is obligated to give to its investors. It created an AI portal to easily get that data. We created another AI for business owners where you can upload your data, like Excel sheets, and it creates a graph out of it and it can talk to you. So there's a lot of use cases. It's just thinking in problems and solutions. So if you can define the problem very specifically, you can create an AI solution it's about saving time, fast tracking, and increasing productivity, right? Using it as a leverage. So having that point of view that, okay, I can use AI to solve problems that were unsolvable or out of my budget or out of my reach before, whether it's in terms of knowledge, in terms of automation, in terms of just getting more stuff done. Because if you get more stuff done, you're going to make more money, right? So as small business owners, we wear a lot of hats. So if we can just list out all the stuff that we do, and then we can identify, okay, this can be automated with AI, that can be automated with AI, and then you can slowly give a lot of hats to the AI. And yeah, if you want to reach out to me, just go on the website, fill out the contact form, or you can reach out to me at avi@codist.com. That's my email. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, we got through a lot of stuff today, man. I appreciate you being willing to let me pick your brain on this. It's just amazing to me, all the stuff you have picked up and you're currently creating. And I know you've been helping us with a lot of stuff. We have to have some more conversations now because now your conversation today got my wheels turning even more. There's a bunch of things I'm actually looking at figuring out how to outsource. So thank you for doing this. We're definitely going to have you on again. And for those of you who are watching that, may not know who we are. This is your first time hearing me. Once again, I'm Jeremy Ryan Slee. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Command Your Brand. And we are your go-to for appearing as guests on the right high level podcast. You can check us out over at commandyourbrand.com. Reminder, if you want to check out our guest, Avi, you can check him out over at codist.com. There's an E on the end of that, so codist.com. You can email him, avi@codist.com. Guys, thank you for hanging out. We're going to continue to do these live master classes every week. We've been getting some really good feedback. We've been having some great conversations. So we'll continue to keep you on the cutting edge and growing your business. Have a good one, everybody.